Welcome, my friend, to the Director's Treatment Masterclass, in which I'm going to teach you the most important skill that you can master as a filmmaker, and that is selling your creative vision and ideas to clients using director treatments and film pitch decks. So, chapter number 10, in which I'm going to share how do we actually get the clients to pitch our ideas via director treatments and film pitch decks. So, now, without further ado, let's dive into my computer and into chapter number 10. Chapter number 10, how to get clients. No recap, let me quickly dive into all the stuff that I'm going to cover in this video. So, this one I'm going to cover chasing versus attracting clients, content marketing, content tips, and a summary. So, as always, if you want to get access to all the secret stuff I don't share anywhere else, make sure to sign up to my newsletter, robinpire.com/newsletter, because here is where I share all the secret stuff. Follow me on the socials for exclusive content. @RobinPire is the handle. Share this course. I need your help. Let's change people's lives together and help other filmmakers excel in this area of creating treatments and selling the vision, so we can all enjoy a great final product at the end of the day on our Vimeos, in the cinemas, on our subscription platforms. A quick warning though, this is the most important video of the entire course at this stage, so if you haven't watched the previous videos, I highly recommend you watch those. Give those a watch first before, because otherwise everything that I'm sharing makes no sense at all. So warning, watch it from beginning to end without skipping any parts. And a pro tip, if you want to save yourself some time, watch this video in double speed. English is not my native language. I sometimes have to think about the words I speak. And some of the people are scared by the length of these videos. So watch it in double speed. It is a much more fluent experience, and you'll better understand what I'm sharing in a shorter amount of time. So watch it in double speed. And now let's dive into chasing versus attracting clients. So if we see, the other day I saw a video from a guy named Luke Belmar. If you haven't watched some of his content, I highly recommend you do. The guy is a genius. And he made this beautiful comparison whereby clients, if you sort of metaphorically think of clients as butterflies, then there are two ways of getting clients. And the first one is chasing clients. And the second one is building a beautiful garden where the butterflies will be attracted to. So as a filmmaker, what a lot of filmmakers do is they run behind the butterflies. They chase the clients at all times. They go to network events. They go to agency parties. They try to network and send messages and emails. And, hey, do you need this? Or on Facebook groups, I see this passing by so many times. Hey, I'm a sound designer. I have availability in my schedule. If you need a sound designer, let me know. That's one way to do it. But the other way you could do it is, let's say this sound designer guy would create content or build this website and share blog articles, or, there are so many different ways in which I'll dive into a little bit later. But if you build this digital garden where people are attracted to, and, when they search online to find sound designer, then you are the first option that pops up. Then you don't have to promote yourself and push yourself on all these different outlets at all times, because the butterflies will come to you. So if we see butterflies as money, a lot of people are chasing the money, but if you build something online that attracts the money, it is a much more fluent experience. And of course, both can live together. You can chase and attract at all times, of course. But this video is just to show you a new way. I have done this myself as well with my website and scaled it to 500,000 visitors a month on robinpire.com. And if you are interested in this knowledge, let me know in the comments, because I am considering creating another course around this topic and sharing all the stuff that I know about creating content and attracting an audience and also monetizing that audience. So let me know in the comments, and let me dive into this a little bit deeper. So first one is chasing clients. Let me first talk about this. So chasing, for many, this means attending agency, production company parties, sending out hundreds of messages, asking for referrals, and flooding people's inboxes with requests for a coffee meeting or networking opportunity. This approach often comes across as, hey, I'm desperate, I need work, do you have some? Sounds familiar? It does for me, because I have done this so many times, and it was a horrible experience. And I was the very needy and desperate guy, and it was not a very fruitful journey and a fruitful way of, and also a very depressing and way of getting clients, because you bump into so many no's. It's just it's horrible. So the downside of this approach is that sometimes this one-to-one approach works, and you might think that is the only way to go, but it takes a lot of effort. And with each new person or business you contact, you have to start from scratch again. You'll have to explain what you do, how you can help, figure out if they have a problem, and if you can offer a solution, all to build your reputation as a trustworthy expert at solving a particular problem. This is why people ask for so many introductions everywhere, and it ends up in nothing. This is what I have experienced myself as well. It just, it is a very labor-intensive way of getting clients, chasing clients. So now the upside of this approach is that even though this approach can be tough, it can help you make connections and find opportunities you wouldn't get otherwise. By reaching out, you make yourself more visible to potential clients who might not find you on their own, and open doors for future projects. It also helps you get better at explaining what you do and matching your skills to what different clients need. Now, it is, of course, an obvious outcome that when you go to network events and go to agency parties and send out hundreds of messages, at some point, of course, it's a numbers game. There will always be some opportunity that will cross your path, or you will meet someone that leads to another thing, and somebody can introduce you there. And of course, this is still possible. Like I mentioned, you can use both attracting and chasing clients. But I think you should not be just dependent on chasing clients, because a lot of filmmakers are, and they are so reliant on their network and on working with a small set of people who constantly feed them work. And yes, this can work, but I think you can establish yourself so much more as an expert, so you can charge more money for and work fewer hours if you take a different approach. So another downside of this approach is that you need to build your portfolio first, because it is important to mention that before reaching out to potential clients, it is crucial to build a portfolio first, otherwise you have no proof of your problem-solving capabilities. This might mean doing some free or low-budget work at the start of your career to create a body of work. That is the way forward with this approach. And you need to find an audience. So to make the most of your time, identify who your ideal client is. So who do you want to work for? This way you can focus on reaching the right people. Usually as a director, this means targeting film production companies, creative agencies, or music labels. I can show you how to find and connect with them. So this is a cool way. Let me quickly do the last one as well. So, no, okay. All right. Let's dive into the nitty-gritty of how do we actually find people. Let's do it like this. All right, so there is this crazy software called hunter.io. And we need a little bit of LinkedIn. All right, so we have entered hunter.io, and hunter.io is a software that can help you find the emails of the people that you're looking for. So let's say we are a music video director and we want to have the opportunity, because usually creating music videos is an easier game to play at the start of your career instead of the commercial game. Because commercial game is usually there's a lot more money involved, so you need to have a little bit of a track record to show that you have the capability of directing film crews. So let's start with the music stuff first. So what we want to do is we want to, for example, look for the people that work at Universal Music Group. I don't know how this is with the privacy stuff, but anyways, this is public data. So at this stage, these are the people that work there. So all the people So you would basically put in Universal Music Group or Sony or any kind of label that you are interested in working for. So in this case, Universal Music Group, there are 44,000 results, and you can search on locations, current company, blah, 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 blah. And we want to look for somebody that is head of content, head of production. So let's see if there's somebody here. Senior creative might be that this person could be. So I would go here. So Universal Music Group, Universal Music, and then you get this this company thing, and then find email addresses, and then email pattern that usually is like this. So first name dot last name at universalmusic.com. So something like this. And then we would find this person who is a senior creative, or we would go to find somebody who is responsible for the head of marketing or artist and relationship. No. Vice president marketing might also be a possibility. I don't think that is the right person. I think somebody who is responsible for content, producer, marketing, music video, freelance marketing creative might also be somebody. So senior video strategist. This might be the guy that you want to reach out to. And then you would try this email address, and sometimes you get this bounce back, or you don't get a bounce back, and you actually found this person's email address. So then you would send them an introduction email, something along the lines of this. Again, you can customize this in any way that you would like. I highly recommend using ChatGPT for it. So the title thing would be introduction, so hi, and then the thing name. For the past X years, I've helped companies, so in this case it would be like music labels, achieve, and then relevant results. So for a music label, it is all about expanding the artist reach so that the artist music gets streamed more and the music label gets more money, etc., etc. So I've helped music labels like Sony and whatever other music label help their artists expand with 55 million more streams, or 500 million more streams, or 500 million YouTube views. Would you be open for a quick 15-minute introduction call to discover if I can help you achieve the similar results? Please feel free to book a Calendly, to book your spot here, and then your Calendly link. And looking forward to connecting. So Calendly would look something like this. So you create a link, 30-minute call, create an event type, and it would be a one-on-one call. It would be 15 minutes. Google Meet, continue, introduction, continue. And then you would share this copy link, and then you would paste that link into your Calendly here. And you can also do something like this. So hi, curious to know if expanding the reach of your artist's online presence is something you're interested in. If so, how about a quick 15-minute introduction call? And then you might say something along the lines of, I've helped artists like X, Y, and Z do this by directing 15 projects for them over the past 2 years. And then if so, how about a 15-minute introduction call? Feel free to pick a spot here. Can't wait to connect. Short, there is something that might be interesting to them. And fingers crossed. You can do this on LinkedIn. You can just send a message on LinkedIn to these people as well. But, an email is more professional. And they might, I've done this many times, and I've received messages like, how do you got this email address? Well, Hunter helped me do it. So, some people might find it intrusive, others don't. I think it shows you are willing to go the extra mile, and there is a clear benefit of working with you because you can prove that you have done the same for other brands just like them before as well. So let's go back to the presentation. So an introduction email, people are busy, so keep your introductions short. The goal is to trigger their interest with an outcome that aligns with their business goals and to set up a call to see if you can help them. I've provided some template text that you can download from the link below. So I've included the Google Docs file that I just showed you with the 2 examples. You can, again, customize them, insert your own stuff, and focus on benefits for them. So don't say, hi, I do this. Would you be willing to have an introduction call? No, there should be a clear business-focused outcome that is in line with their business goals in your email or message, because only then will it be interesting. If I tell you, hey, I have this coffee product and it will allow you to access the full capability of your brain and write the most amazing film script in the world that even Steven Spielberg would be interested in, then you would be like, okay, interested. And if I would highlight that Steven Spielberg is actually in your town tomorrow and I could set up a call with you, with him, then there is urgency involved and the whole game changes and you would be highly likely to jump on a call with me and buy my coffee because there is a clear outcome for you. Now, let's talk about the different way of attracting clients, the other approach. So as again, you can combine them both, but I highly recommend considering this option as well. So a quality myth. So many people think that simply getting better at their craft will lead to success, believing that great work will attract new clients on autopilot. While quality work can get noticed in today's oversaturated market, assuming a client will see one of your videos you release every few months, instantly hire you and keep coming back is unrealistic. It's a false hope. So although people consume the content that we create in a few minutes, it takes many months to create it, and you cannot expect people to hire you based on the 3, 4, 5 or even less projects that you share every year, and just in the hopes that it will stack on top of each other, because there is just too much content out there. People consume too much. So you have to create stuff that feeds their content addiction almost on a weekly, preferably daily, and at least a monthly basis. Now, I also want to highlight that gear does not sell. Gear does not set you apart. So if you're looking for someone to help you fix your problem, or have fixed something that is broken in your house, would you hire them because they use the latest drill, the newest saw, or the best screws? No, you hire for the outcome you are looking for. And it works the same for clients. They don't hire you because they have the gear. You have the gear because gear is too easily replaced, and they will often go for the cheapest option when it comes to gear. So don't focus on gear when it comes to attracting clients. And an agent. So another misconception is that creatives often rely on the idea of getting signed with production companies or agents so that they can promote their work and bring in clients. Unfortunately, getting signed is very tough, and these companies usually reply with, "We love your work and will keep you in mind for the right project," but you could actually end up waiting a long time for that right project, for that right opportunity to come along. I have experienced this myself many times. I have received so many times these kind of will contact you for the right project, and I'm still waiting for the right project to come along. So that's also false hope. Don't rely on those kinds of companies to do the work for you. Yes, you are a filmmaker, but you are also a business owner, a marketeer of your own creative service. And there is no one else who can do that better than you. So let's dive into how to do this the right way. So to get clients, they need to know that you exist, which means you must promote yourself. Even though you are a filmmaker and not a marketeer, marketing is crucial. Without it, you are just waiting for opportunities to find you, which rarely happens. And to be clear, posting on social media or sending messages isn't real marketing. It is just sending messaging. And also on social media, just posting a few stills or posting whatever, that's not marketing. That is just posting content that is not marketing your business. There is no clear business goal behind putting out a beautiful still. So no marketing. So it's understandable if you prefer to rely on referrals and your existing network instead of promoting what you do, especially if that approach has been working for you. If you're comfortable with your current method and is bringing you results, then by all means keep doing what you are doing. Then there is no right or wrong here, just different options that work for different people. I do want to highlight that what you get, what got you here won't necessarily got you there. So yeah, if you want to go to the next level and build a garden that attracts beautiful butterflies, beautiful opportunities, and big money, premium payouts, then you have to take a different approach. You cannot rely solely on other people coming to you, because what if those people stop with the job that they are doing? What if they have some epiphany in their life and decide, well, I'm going to leave this filmmaking world and I'm going to sail around the world in my sailing boat, or they pass away, or you see, the filmmaking world is too much of a dependence culture, and if you create something by doing good marketing, then you sort of detach yourself from solely being dependent on the direct referrals. And again, of course you don't have to completely say no to all the stuff that comes into you, all the opportunities that comes in via your referrals. I just want to show you a way to diversify your business, new business opportunities. So a new perspective, so relying on others for marketing and just making great work is outdated. This thinking stems from following legends like Scorsese and Tarantino without realizing the industry has changed. Their methods didn't face today's social media competition. It's time for a new approach. My goal with this is to show you a new perspective on how to attract new clients and build a garden to attract new butterflies. So this is what I noticed as well, is so many people rely on this outdated theory that you can only break through in the film industry by taking this agent, a production company approach. I think, that path still works. It is still very much possible to go down that route, but there is so much opportunity in the digital age right now, in the online world, in the online business world, and you have all these tools at your disposal. So I highly recommend using them. And I'm going to share a bit of how I did it and how you can do the same. So marketing done right, I used to think marketing meant bragging about my projects and achievements, which made me uncomfortable. So I avoided it. For most filmmakers, promoting themselves is the biggest issue because we are so accustomed to work in the dark, behind the camera. Later, I realized that promoting yourself doesn't have to feel awkward if done correctly. Now, we are going to talk about building a garden. What you want to do instead is giving people a behind-the-scenes look at the problems you solve and sharing valuable insights or interesting content. So you have a body of proof that shows that you are an expert, problem solver, and let the content live online to attract clients on autopilot. The goal is to create a digital ecosystem that can function without you being present all the time. So you have to see the work that you create as assets that can live for you, and you have to see it this way. So I can talk to a person and tell them what I do, or people can search for something, I pop up in which I show them what I do. So I then only have to build it once, and then it can promote itself for my business an infinite amount of times. This is the same what I'm doing currently with this course. So I invest my time and effort once, publish it online, other people find it, and they enter the world of my business, and it lives on autopilot. It attracts people on autopilot, and you can do the same. So it's called a one-to-many marketing way. So this marketing approach involves creating content that reaches a broad audience, like blog posts, videos, or social media updates. By sharing valuable content, you can connect with many people at once, drawing them into your garden. Now, how I discovered this, let me quickly give you an idea. So COVID rolled around, and I realized that I was constantly selling my time for money, and decided that I had the preference of building something once in with the idea of selling it twice. So instead of just I sell my time to a client, and in exchange for my problem solving capabilities, they would pay me, and then I would go on to the next project, and I would solve the problem, they would pay me, and on to the next one. And this is how the whole service-based business works. You sell your problem solving capabilities in exchange for money. But what if you create a product, for example, a microphone, you develop it once and you can sell it an infinite amount of times. Now, even better with a physical product is a digital product. So I wrote an ebook about creating directed treatments, and I published it online. I had no shipping costs, no inventory costs, and it was an instant. People paid for it, and they instantly had a download link to their product. And I was like, this is a very interesting business model. And then I had to find a way to find a global audience of people that would be interested in buying my products. So one way to do that is to pay for ads. So I had never done ads before, and I didn't have the money at the time to invest for the ads. I didn't even know if there was a huge market for the product that I had created. So what I decided to do was I started to write blog articles about creating short films, about creating directed treatments, creating music video treatments. And over time, these articles started to rank in Google. People would enter my website, find my products, buy them, and I had created this system that would work for me 24/7. And on top of that, people started to send me emails. Hey, Robin, can you create a treatment for me? Can you help me with this? Can you maybe hop on a call with me and give me some advice? And this all came from me investing my time once into creating something, and then the content would live on the algorithms and do the work for me. And you can do exactly the same. And you might think, well, I don't know if I feel comfortable with that, promoting myself. The only thing that you have to do is show your work. And I highly recommend reading this book from Austin Kleon, who wrote another fantastic book, which is called Steal Like an Artist, which I also highly recommend reading. And in this book, he shares that if you just share what you are doing, you share the knowledge, just like I am doing right now. I share all the stuff that is living in my head, rent-free, on the internet, so it can work for me. And if you just make videos, for example, on a film set, and I know sometimes, you're not allowed to create videos or at least publish them while they are recording, and you can keep them and publish them later when the project is finished, and maybe give a little explainer, record your voice, just like I'm doing right now. And it doesn't have to be with equipment, with a light and a professional microphone. It can even be on your phone, because in the day and age that we live right now with AI, people appreciate authenticity. That's why I like to keep all my like this, my language slip-ups in this video, to show that I am an actual person. It is not polished to the max. It is what it is. And I think if you understand the this day and age in which we live in, it's content is king. And if you are a cinematographer and you create a video after every project and tell people about your light setup and use some behind the scene photos that you've quickly taken with your phone, explain what you've done, use an iPad to draw on it and say, well, we did this was the effect, this was the reasoning why we chose it, the director wanted this. And you demonstrate your expertise just by telling other people what you have done. And other people will watch that and they think, this guy knows what he is doing. He's an expert at solving this particular problem. And therefore, when a director sees this and they are looking for specific references, for example, and they find your video and they see how you are explaining how you brought that scene to life, then they'll be like, I need to work with this guy. And when you understand what production companies are looking for, and you make a video outlining how you directed a project, what kind of cues did you give to the actor, or how to direct actors, if you make a video about that based on your experience, then man, it will create so much trust in somebody's mind, because you just demonstrate your expertise. And that is the stuff that you need to share. This is what a show your work is about. You just literally explain what you do and take people into the process of what you do as a problem solver. Now, this is all called content marketing. So content marketing, what is it? Content marketing involves creating and sharing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and engage a target audience. So instead of directly promoting a product or service, content marketing focuses on offering value to the audience, educating, entertaining, or solving problems. The content can come in various forms, such as blog posts, videos, social media posts, infographics, podcasts, ebooks, newsletters, and more. The sky is the limit in the digital age. It doesn't really matter anymore what you create, as long as you create something of value. And what is value? I have discovered that value is usually an insight, something that only you could have known as an expert, and the other person would not have known without your expertise. So, for example, if you want to buy a house and you find a real estate broker on YouTube, for example, because you were searching for videos of that neighborhood, and the real estate broker makes you aware of the rules and regulations, or the do's and don'ts of buying a property in that specific area, then your perception of that person as a expert problem solver at selling houses in that particular area will rise. So it works the same for the creative industry. So if you, for example, I saw the other day a graphic designer, website designer, who walked down the streets and saw cool businesses, looked them up online, didn't like their website, and then regenerated a website for them in a few days or a day, and it looked amazing. And then he asked his audience to tag the businesses in his social media post, and the post went viral, and that's how he got new work. See, there are so many ways of creating cool content and show your expertise, demonstrate your expertise by showing your work. So insights are the key. So experts don't claim expertise, they simply demonstrate expertise by sharing game-changing insights for their markets. It's not about publishing and posting content and hoping that something sticks. It's about sharing truly unique insights that help shift how your prospect thinks about solving the problem. It's not about content, it's about insights. Clients on autopilot. So start creating assets that work without you. Communicate your expertise and ability and compound in your favor over time. It helps show you that there is a different way to get clients on autopilot. So instead of chasing people and constantly sort of bragging about what you do, just record what you are doing. If you are creating a treatment, simply record that you are creating a treatment for a project, then do it with your iPhone. It doesn't need a red camera, a fancy light, a fancy microphone. The more raw and authentic it is, the better. And you will notice that this stuff that you create will live on the internet by itself and attract people, and you will find that there is this whole world that will be interested in reaching out to you to collaborate because of the content that you are sharing. So the key with this is to reverse engineer. So you can't hack the content creation process, but you can study what works for others and improve those on those ideas to achieve success. To know what works for others, mainly focus on data, views, searches, etc. So when I started writing my blog articles to promote my products, I noticed I first started from a place for myself. So I wrote what I liked reading, And I noticed that those articles didn't get the views and the attention that I wanted. And then I started to reverse engineer by using software that showed me what people were actually searching for on Google. So what were the keywords? So the word combinations that people typed in the Google search bar to find answers to their questions. And when I started focusing on answering what people were actually looking for, then Google started serving the stuff that I wrote higher up in the search results because it was a good answer to someone's actual question instead of me just writing whatever I wanted. So yeah, you cannot create a market desire. You can only feed a desire that is already there. So when you are creating content, you have to use tools and reverse engineer what is working. For example, you can do I don't know exactly how it works on short form content. I haven't mastered that yet. But I'd say, let's, for example, say on TikTok, I know that when something pops off, analyze those videos. Why do they work? Do they have text on there? Is there a specific thing in the comments that is mentioned throughout that highlights what people like about this type of content? And then you take the same concept and reframe it in your own way. So, yeah. The thing is important because with social media, if you just create content, post it online and forget about it, then you will have something like this. It will have a peak and then it will die off completely. But if you focus on feeding on the need of what people are actually looking for online, then your traffic growth will look something like this. And this is how I grew my own website from 0 visitors to 500,000 organic visitors. So without spending 0 on advertisement, to 500,000 visitors to my website and monetizing that audience on autopilot and making 5 figures a month on autopilot while literally lying on the beach. So let's continue on this content marketing. So we first need to focus on who. So before you create any content, it's crucial to know your target audience. So who are your clients? Are your clients production companies? Are you a cinematographer and is the client the director? Are you a production company and is the client creative agencies? You first need to know who the client is and what is the type of content that they are searching for. So next, figure out where your audience spends their time. Which platforms do they use? Do they use TikTok, Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube? Today there are so many options and you need to know where do they spend their time? And the easiest way is just ask. They are the clients. If you have been in this game for a while, you already know you have been working for some clients and you can just ask them, hey, where do you spend most of your time online? And then what your content should have a purpose. So what action do you want your audience to take? So don't just create content. Ideally, you want to have a sort of call to action at the end. So for example, when I figured out how to write my blog articles, at the end, I would create a call to action saying, do you want to, for example, in a short film blog, how to write a short film, I would add a call to action that mentioned, do you want to create short films as well? Then you have to master creating treatments. Here, I've written a guide that can teach you how to do that. And here's a link to the guide. You can do the same on videos as well. If you want to get in contact with me, if you want me to help you create a beautiful film, if you blah, 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 there are so many ways, then click the link in the description below and let's get in touch or whatever. You'll see this in other videos as well. There's always a business goal of creating the content and you need to take that into consideration as well. Now, why is this so important to create content? Is that project breaks, so during downtime between projects, don't just passively consume content or invest in more tools, in going to musea, etc. Yes, this is all another great way to spend time, find inspiration, but I think the best way to do it is, instead turn those activities into content, engage with your audience during these gaps and make the most of your time by staying active and visible. So instead of just invest tools, create a video about finding the right tools, and then an unboxing, and then why you chose this tool, and they do a little tutorial on this camera. And or if you go to the museum, make a video explain to people what you liked about the stuff and how you will use that in future work, or how you have used that in future work, and how museums can help other people become a better director. You see, it's all about framing. So instead of just going to the museum and keeping everything for yourself, you show your work, just as you'll read in the Austin Kleon book. Put a link to that book in the description as well. And the thing with content marketing that I have learned is to just keep going, because don't expect instant sales from a single post. It doesn't work that way. Every piece of content you share builds your authority, and this process takes time and involves iteration, testing, trial and error, learning from mistakes, publishing and reflecting. It's a journey, but if you keep moving forward, you'll eventually find success. So it takes some time for the algorithm to discover you and to say, this is where this content fits in the search algorithm. So when people search for this kind of topic, then he is the expert. I should serve this person's content first and then all the other stuff. So it takes time before you start noticing something, and just keep going. I can guarantee you, just keep going, keep sharing content, keep sharing valuable insights, stuff that people cannot find anywhere else, or stuff that you have learned along the way, and people find that very, very valuable. All right, let me summarize this video. So 2 ways of getting clients. First one, chasing clients. So directly reaching out to potential clients can be tiring and doesn't always work well. Each new contact means starting from scratch, which takes a lot of time and effort. Now, the importance of self-promotion. Just being good at your work or having the latest gear won't bring clients in today's crowded market. You need to directly promote yourself to get noticed. There's too much noise out there. You cannot just rely on following the same path that the filmmaking dinosaurs at this stage have taken. It's a different day and age. Hollywood is changing. The content creation game is changing with the rise of AI. And when you look at nature, it is not the strongest one that survives. It is the one that has the ability to adapt, that will always survive. So I highly recommend being open for change within this industry, and use it to use all the digital tools to your advantage to build a career that is self-fulfilling in a way, and at least that you are no longer dependent on other people giving you work. That is my hope with this. So the goal is to build a digital garden. So instead of constantly chasing clients, create a digital garden by sharing valuable content that demonstrates expertise and attracts clients on autopilot over time. So create content, and at least what I have done so far is create all the content. So also this course, the goal is to get people off YouTube onto my own platform, and then that is where I control the narrative. So don't just keep people on TikTok, on Instagram, or Facebook. Try to grab their attention, get them off the platform onto your own websites, because there is where you can get their email addresses, build an email list where you control when and where you can reach out to them with what message, and are no longer dependent on algorithms pushing your content up and down. And content all comes down to sharing valuable insights. So when you create content, focus on giving your audience useful information that helps them see things differently, rather than just posting to be visible. Because it is not about being available, but being valuable. And so instead of just saying, hey, I'm a sound designer, I have time in my agenda, need a sound designer, I need work, because that basically says, hi, I'm desperate, I need the money. I cannot get my head around why this still works for so many people. And of course, if it works for you, you can still do it. But I think you can get in such a different tier of premium pricing as well if you just promote yourself with sharing valuable insights, because it will just show that you have such a big bag of experience to pull from when it comes to problem solving. So the key of Content marketing is consistency, so success in content marketing takes time. Keep sharing, learning, and improving your approach. Understanding your audience and adjusting your content to meet their needs are key to long-term success. Also with my blogging adventure, it took 1.5 years before it really took off. And I'm really curious. I just started with this YouTube channel, with this first course. I know the episodes are long. I know the knowledge is a lot. For some, it might be too much to take. And I might have to shift my approach in the future. But we'll see. I'm just sharing my work. So I wanted to finish this episode with something a little bit different. And that is a final note, a note to you that your future clients are out there right now, going about their daily routines, working, attending meetings, leading their teams, and thinking about the problems they have. They are not concerned with filmmaking tools, innovative concepts, or stories that haven't been told yet. They are not thinking about you, your awards, your impressive websites, or the stunning shots in your showreel. What matters to them is their own problems and looking for ways to solve them. If you can present yourself to the world by highlighting how you solve problems, the more you're going to get their attention, and eventually they'll reach out to you asking for help solving their problem because you've already demonstrated your expertise as the right problem solver for them. That's the goal of content marketing. Create a digital garden so the butterflies will come to you and you don't have to chase the butterflies with your net all the time. Now, the final quote that I wanted to finish this episode with is, if you want an unconventional life, you must free yourself from a conventional mindset. So if you want different results, you have to change the way, you have to take a different approach. What got you here won't get you there. So what got you here might have been networks, referrals, etc. But if you want to get to a different level and have clients on autopilot, then just becoming good at it and have a beautiful portfolio is not a sustainable business model. You want to have a flourishing business with clients on autopilot. I think the best way to do that is at least build a digital garden. And of course, you can have some networking as well. Diversification is the key. All right, that was it. Chapter number 10. I hope you liked it. I hope you have learned something. Please let me know in the comments if there are other topics for future videos that you would like me to discuss as well. But almost there. This director's treatment masterclass course. Once again, I want to highlight I'm no filmmaking guru. I have no Oscars or Emmys on the shelf, so you don't have to agree with everything I'm sharing. But if there's one thing in here that can help you land a new client, then this will be worth it for you. All right, next chapter, my final thoughts on creating treatments. And I hope to see you there. See ya.